Stream. I'm sending the notifications. I'm checking the audio.
Checking the audio. Hold on, I gotta fix the audio. That's so much deeper and brighter and better.
I hear you very well.
Okay, good. I hope you hear me well.
I hear myself pretty well too, and I can hear the game. Perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
All right. Get situated here.
All right. So, I told you that I had a pre-show topic.
Yes.
It's pretty dumb. So, Time Magazine ran an article, and by article I mean it was the cover story and everything, on how scientists are bringing back the dire wolf.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you've looked into this.
Well, I imagine it's much along the same lines as what they're planning on doing with the mammoth. Which is a team that's working on that.
Right.
They've got some DNA to fill in.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's sort of the same thing.
Yeah.
Except it's not even close to the same thing.
Okay.
Because they're not actually bringing back the dire wolf. They're not actually doing anything with dire wolves. They're just making a bigger gray wolf and claiming it's a dire wolf, but genetically enhancing it to grow bigger.
We don't need any bigger wolves.
And yeah, there's a lot of people pretty upset about it, honestly, because there's a lot of problems with the project. The first one is that, of course, they're claiming they made a dire wolf when
They didn't.
There were dire wolves at some point. Historically, we know of them. And then from a fossil record, we have evidence of bigger wolves that were stronger.
Yeah.
All the testing we've been able to do so far and all the mythology points to them actually being like a reddish tone wolf, right?
Yeah.
This project made gray wolves slightly bigger, and I mean slightly bigger, right?
Yeah.
With slightly longer fangs, then called them dire wolves. And they named the first two, the brothers, Remus and Romulus.
Okay.
It's like, okay, sure,
Yeah.
They named the third one Khaleesi.
Okay. I kind of wish they'd have stuck with the theme they started with.
It's almost like they started with a genuine project to try and make bigger, cooler wolves. And then somebody went, hey, what if we got some attention from this if we started trying to reference Game of Thrones and we made dire wolves instead?
Yeah.
Also, hopefully so. It seems to be running okay so far, Faith. Also, Khaleesi's not even the name of one of the dire wolves. It's just like...
Yeah, I know. I know.
And Time Magazine, they bit down on that hook.
I'm sure they did.
They bought into it.
They're desperate for at one time they had the eyes of the world, so to speak.
Yeah.
And they don't anymore. So they'll grab on any kind of pop culture reference that they can to make things.
And it's just sad because the idea that we're genetically enhancing wolves is cool, right?
Not really.
It's scary, it's terrifying, but the story could have just been about that.
Yeah, but okay, here's my thing. People, God bless them.
Right.
I don't think people truly appreciate the size of a wolf.
No, I agree, 100%.
Also that, and I think a lot of people think, look, I've seen 1,000,001 coyotes.
Yeah, 100%.
Right through there. That doesn't. Coyotes don't intimidate me.
No.
Right? I mean, I don't want to get attacked by a pack of coyotes by any means. I'm
definitely not.
I mean, that would be easier, nothing like that. I'm just saying that's not, if it's foaming at the mouth, I'll be worried.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But otherwise, it kind of doesn't bother me. Like, a timber wolf is a big animal. It's like a shaggy Great Dane.
No dingoes?
No
Yeah,
dingo.
also true.
Dingo ate my baby.
But
Sorry, I'm way too old.
It's a cool story in and of itself, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It is, right? It's a supervillain story.
It is, absolutely. Yes.
No. I've made these wolves bigger, stronger.
Yeah.
You know.
It's Jurassic Bark.
Yeah, right, exactly, yes. It's terrible.
But
man.
then it just lie, you know? Come on.
Well, that's the thing about that's really killed like written media,
Mm-hmm.
like news stories and stuff. It's like clickbait, like clickbait headline grabbing has been a thing since before the internet.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
Clickbait, 'cause
Absolutely.
we're clicking on it.
Right.
You know, oh, I want to read this article. You're like,
Yeah.
you know, you're standing in the supermarket, right? And there's, you know, these magazines there that was, what was it? They have like People, Us,
Yeah, The Sun.
The Sun, the National Enquirer.
Yeah.
So there's a few of them there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like, now that
Nostradamus.
is here. Yes. Yes.
That was always my favorite. Nostradamus said this
Yeah.
would happen in this year. And it's like, I don't think he did.
Oh, dude, no, the Weekly World News.
Oh, yeah.
That was
The
the best one.
WWN.
The Bat Babies.
Yeah. Yeah.
President Bill Clinton meeting with the aliens.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has some great stories. They reference that in Men in Black.
Yes, they
But
did.
no,
yes,
this
they
is the
did.
real. This is actually what's happening. All the other news is distraction. This is real.
This
news.
is the real news.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one I ever saw from then was Werewolf runs bar for 2 days to help his owner. And it's just like no explanation. I didn't read the rest of the article. That was the headline.
Why would
Of course,
Why
yeah.
would you?
What a nice werewolf.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it. That story's mine now.
Yeah.
It goes where I say it goes.
What a
in my
nice
head.
werewolf.
I now headcanon this story for that. That's awesome.
So yeah, I should try and see if I can dig up some of those headlines and bring them in for the next like little bit of
You used to be able to get T-shirts.
yeah.
They had T-shirts where you'd have the
Yeah.
the news article or the headline on it. Yeah.
I bet I can find some of those for
bet you
pre-show
can.
topics for the next couple weeks. That might be fun.
Do they? Because I wonder if they still have a website. I
bet they do.
I haven't even thought about this in years.
I bet I haven't either. I bet they do. I'm gonna look it up right now.
Okay. See if they have it.
We got a couple minutes.
And I'm a conspiracy nut, and you know those were way beyond.
Hurry up, Rundgren.
Oh, Will, look.
Hey, Will. Oh, they do. They're putting out articles still.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna give you the most recent ones.
All right.
Shocking solar ejections. Plasmoids gone wild.
Come on, Trey.
Hey, look.
I will.
That was a great headline. It has my attention.
The Navy blows it. Whale fart mistaken for Russian drone.
That one was probably true.
Man acquitted of robbing banks because he has moral dyslexia.
Okay.
Okay, this is the last one, but man must buy landfill after Marie Kondo'd his drawers, throwing out Bitcoin wallet. And the image is Marie Kondo as if she was Jesus over a man with a landfill.
Yes.
I'm gonna show this one to you, chat. There you go.
There's a few stories out there about missing.
We're gonna get to unicorn.
Yelling at me.
We're gonna get to unicorn.
Come in here like you own the place.
Unicorn.
Holler at everybody. What was that?
Gonna bring my
Of missing
UI down.
bitcoins.
Yeah. Oh, milestone skills are on sale.
Head to the Barrow Downs, kill stuff, and get your reputation up with the Men of Bree.
There you go.
You can max that out shortly. Have you handed over your rep stuff for your? You can get some. I don't think you can get enough though.
Emotional damage indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, we ready to start?
Hey, well, why don't you go ahead? It's 10 minutes. It's 7:10. Go ahead. Give us an official start, and we will discuss Unicorn.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of MMO Mondays. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
And we've got some Gundam to talk about tonight.
Yes, it is.
So we watched Gundam Unicorn episode 5, The Black Unicorn.
Yeah.
Riddy
We
Marcinus might be the worst character in all of Gundam.
He's not the worst. It's just not. None of these characters are any good.
I can't think of anybody I like less than Riddy.
I can't think of anybody I really like more.
Gundam has Space Hitler, and I like Space Hitler more than Riddy.
Yeah. Kind of a throwaway character.
We're 10 minutes in. I can say Hitler without us getting demonetized.
Like, okay, good. Yeah, it's like I've been mad watching Gundam before because I'm like, these writers are straight up insulting me. They're treating me like an idiot.
Yeah, all the flashbacks in Destiny and
there was a couple. There was a couple before that. You know, and if what my experience watching Gundam like this, you know, it definitely has high points and low points.
yeah,
A lot of them will be in the same episode.
yeah.
You know. But
That's
Unicorns.
you're so right, Will. There is one guy who's worse than Riddy. You're so right. How could I have forgotten Iok Kujan? You're so right.
Also, the they I don't know why they feel the necessity to change up the old characters.
Yeah, I don't like Bright's new design.
I like Bryce's new design. I think I could almost live with it, but I think they should have got one different voice actor. Like, seriously,
Yeah,
take that design and that voice actor out of that. You can move it over to DC, put a Superman costume on it.
yeah, it works.
It works. That would make the voice and everything.
Kai Shiden has no right to have that cool of a jaw.
Yeah, and it's like I can see him when you see him again in Zeta.
Yeah,
You know, he's definitely matured,
yeah, absolutely.
but there's still something very Kai about it, right? You know,
Good thing that's true. Good
Yes.
thing you're here.
Yes.
To remind me about Iok
keep everything straight.
Kujan.
Yes. The
Every time somebody brings him up, my blood pressure goes up.
all right,
You're gonna meet him later. Don't worry.
I'm sure. A lot of lovely suits.
Yeah.
Flying around and doing cool stuff.
The Ashimars look great.
Yeah.
There were a couple moments I really liked in this episode. They could have been so much better.
Well, they have like this. They'll have the music right or the score right for the scene. They'll have the dialogue okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, but the emotional weight that they put on the scene, they
Yeah.
have not. And this is, but far as,
Fall into darkness, indeed.
but no, it's not just Unicorn that's done this.
Right.
You know, in this, but that is all
Yeah.
Unicorn. You know.
Well, like Bright's scene with Benager, it was all right, right? But there's a couple moments in there that were really good, and a couple moments that really weren't. The first time the unicorn turns green, when the spirits of Daguza and I cannot remember Tobit. What was that guy's name? I don't remember. When the two of them come to save Benager and help him hold the cable on both sides, you know. Both having been dead, both having died protecting Benager. Like that's a good moment.
Yeah.
It could have been so much better if I cared about that other guy at all. But you know,
Yeah.
it was good stuff. Zimmerman getting Marita Cruz and holding her and you know, convince her to come back to the Gran Sierras. That's cool. I like Zimmerman. I like Marita. I don't understand why they're calling her Pole 12 instead of Puru. But,
Yeah.
you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But Riddy ruins every scene he's in. I called out my wolf.
I
You know, makes sense.
Snowford.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know, man. Unicorns are like real bad. It's the best as we've gone through. It's the cleanest
Yeah.
animation wise.
Oh, absolutely.
You know that there is a lot. They are fully by this time. You can tell they have fully integrated digital coloring
Yeah.
in.
Is it better than Char's counterattack? Is what Will is asking.
That's Faith. Char's Revenge. Char's
Oh,
Revenge.
sorry. Yeah, Faith is asking. I just read the text. I didn't read who it was.
Yeah. But Will would have said it correctly. the
We're all Will. I need more Will.
No, it's not. It's not.
For what it's worth, that's fair. At least Char's counterattack, as bad as it is, has some moments where Amuro and Char are both themselves. There's a lot of moments where Char is not Char. There's a couple moments in there where he's still Char.
Yeah.
You know. This is just...
Yeah. The stories... Either the story's so stupidly simple and they've tried to make it so complex, they've made a story so complex that they can't tell it.
Yeah. There is a moment in this episode that I think encapsulates all the problems with Unicorn. It's a moment that should work perfectly, right? It's the setup where Captain Otto gets the message that he has to work with the sleeves, with Neo Zeon, right? It's the moment where he gets the orders that he has to do the opposite of what he would do. Thank you for that Kira cry. He's drinking his tea, he opens the orders, he spits his tea out, and everybody in the room is all shocked, and they're what does it say?
Yeah.
And it's a scene that it's such a classic scene. It's in so many things. It's easy enough to pull off, and it doesn't matter because you don't know anybody in that room except for Otto.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, sure, this happens, I guess. And that's how I feel about all of Unicorn. Is sure that happened, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that. Fair enough. I'll do that. I can see that.
And I like Captain Otto. He's one of 3 characters in the show I like. One of those characters is dead.
So there's another part of this about every single one of these characters in here. It's like, no, that it's this other character.
Yeah.
But this one's from Temu.
Yeah. Kind of, right? They're all low rent versions of other people.
Yeah. Even the ones that are named the same.
Yeah.
Like, right.
That doesn't act like Beltorchica at all,
Yeah. Amuro's girl. Well, where's Amuro?
Theoretically, he's dead by this point, right?
Yes.
He and Char have pushed Axis away and flown off into nowhere. Also, like, if Bright can call in Kai, why can't he call in Judo? Oh, well, because then Judo would come in and be the new main character, right? That's why. It's like, I get that, but like, if you're going to have him calling in help, he should be able to call in help. El, Bicha, Mondo. I'm actually unironically saying I wish Bicha and Mondo were here. If that doesn't tell you how much I dislike Unicorn.
Oh, man. No, 2 more.
2 more episodes.
2 more episodes. 2 more hours of my life waiting.
We won't watch one next week because we won't have a stream next week because I won't be here.
Yeah.
But we will watch the next 2 weeks after that. 1 and then 1.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't...
Yeah, they brought up Axis Shock and then pushed the ship.
Yeah.
I think the comment, I don't remember which one of us made it, but I think the comment that was made is they're just throwing out terms we know to try and make us think it's the same, right? Like, Riddy gives this whole speech about new type evolution, and it's like, now that new types have evolved, it's like, bro, that was 20 years ago. You can't.
Yeah. Well, they've never...
I hate him so much.
Tomino, his work, setting up this universe, the original Gundam and Zeta.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't.
He did First Gundam Zeta, Double Zeta,
He did do Double
and
Zeta.
he did Victory.
Okay.
And he did F-91, all of which are in this universe.
Okay. So specifically those first 3, as with the problems I have with them, I don't like.
They're not perfect.
Yeah. And for me, they kind of it goes downhill. But he
Was cool.
he's the first time but it's as rough as that is. That's a cool palette.
Yeah.
And people have been painting off that for
Yeah.
years now, right? And it's still, it's there's still something missing,
Yeah,
you know. And Gundam's such a powerhouse.
it is.
Especially if we just go down to like no, we're talking about mech.
Yeah,
You know,
mech designs.
mech designs, mech anime. Yeah, there's some other big ones, but nothing else comes.
No, he doesn't. The worst part is I remember where Riddy goes as a character. Riddy Marson is that incel character that people make up about other shows.
Yeah.
I also think like Unicorn stumbles in trying to be a follow-up to the previous series. Like in Zeta, there's a bunch of name characters that come back from First Gundam because of course they would.
Yeah.
In Double Zeta, there's a bunch of name characters that come back from the previous two because of course they would.
Yeah, but you know, the number gets smaller each time.
Yeah, I mean a lot of people die.
Yeah.
But there are so many other characters. Riddy does one good thing. Will, I'll give you that. That's
Die?
I'm not spoiling anything for you.
Okay.
But no, there are still characters that are alive that it would legitimately have made me excited to see again. I would love to see an older Beecha, an older L, an older Mondo. They've learned from who they used to be. You know,
Yeah.
bring back Judo and Ruluka, and let me see Ruluka get to do something super cool.
If it does what, yeah, right. After just completely sidelining,
Yeah,
like you bring this character in, it's like that's a cool character design. She fits right in this group. Want to see what she's gonna do?
nothing.
Okay, so we were talking about Kai earlier. So the jump from Kai in Gundam, we see him again, right? Years past.
Yeah,
He's grown.
yeah.
He's still Kai.
He's still Kai.
You still see it. You still hear it. You know, and you're just. He's not as punchable.
That's fair. That's fair.
Die. Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as punchable, right?
Yeah.
but
But he's still
there.
Kai. Yeah,
But he's also
I think it is.
But he's also a grown Kai. This guy is very valuable. He's got he got stuff we need, and it's because of his expertise.
Yeah,
that we're gonna get it right.
that's right.
If that's the way that characters grow, then yeah, that's what I would love to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like Bright, Bright's kind of declined with each parent.
Yeah, this barely feels like Bright.
Yeah. You could have done the same design and be like, no, this is actually Bright's son somehow.
Yeah, this is Hathaway.
Yeah, you know. That comes later.
Yeah, we're gonna get to Hathaway later. Kai's still Kai.
Yeah, he should be. He at least it's a small part.
Yeah, he's still doing what Kai does, but I think another thing that hurts it is that all the voice actors have changed. So not only do we have a new design for Kai, we also have a new voice for Kai that tries to make him seem older and more mature. And he is older and more mature, but he was older and more mature in Zeta. He was older and more mature than that in Double Zeta.
Yeah.
And he still felt like Kai. And his actions here are still Kai. But he doesn't sound like Kai. He doesn't look like Kai.
One thing is a dialogue. I think it's the dialogue itself more than the actual voice actor. The voice could be adjusted.
Right.
They could definitely sound. I understand. Like Bright, the voice could work for Bright.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Kai's voice doesn't work. They need another voice for Kai. But yeah, that's not how he speaks.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway. So no, it's not good. Some pretty suits though.
Yeah. No.
I don't. The more I see Char's special suit,
Yeah.
the more
Full
I hate
frontal
it.
Sinanju.
Yeah, the more I don't like that suit.
I do want to throw out one last thing here too, which is we kind of got to like an equilibrium in every Universal Century series up until this, where eventually every side's mobile suits were about even with each other, right? It was, hey, aces can show up and they can do some cool stuff, but for the most part, everybody's about equal.
Yeah.
Then Angelo Salper just shows up and wipes out an entire mobile suit team with ease. They don't even scratch him. They don't even get close to scratching him. And I go, so why is the Federation still fighting this war? It should be over.
Oh, what's her name? Po 12.
Yeah, Marina Cruz.
Puru. You know, she. What was her suit?
Originally she had the Kshatriya, but then she had the Banshee.
The one was, yeah, it's a No,
The unicorn, the black unicorn.
no. Wasn't she the one driving? Oh, it was a black unicorn. Who was in the?
Because before that, she was in the big Four-winged.
Four-wing. I'm sorry. I got my brains crossed here.
You talking about when she wrecked Riddy in his Delta Plus?
No, that was in that, but that the one that had, did it have the big claw?
Yeah, it did have the big claw.
That's okay. That's what it is.
You hate Angelos Alper, I understand. I do. Yeah, she shredded the Delta Plus like it was nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's Unicorn.
So far.
We're almost done with it.
Yeah. Like there's some I don't like all the suits, you know, but they do, like, across the board. They look great.
Yeah.
And there's been not all the fight scenes, but there's been a few over this whole thing. There's been really good like choreographed like fight scenes,
Oh yeah.
and even some really good like shots,
Yeah.
like setups and things. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just rough.
Yeah.
When it comes to
I mean,
story.
the good news is after that we go to Gundam Age.
It's definitely aged me.
Gundam Age is widely regarded as one of the best, right, Will? Right, Will?
Look, I trust neither one of you. Okay, neither one.
Should we talk to Darefoot and Pippin?
Yeah. Let's see.
This road will take us to the very gate of Mordor.
This road will take us across the blasted plains of Dagorlad to the very gate of Mordor.
It's okay until we get to Kyo. Once we get to Kyo, Age falls off a cliff.
You've made your point. Okay, okay. Sorry, let me get back to this. Gosh, darn it. Okay. The road will take everything.
Yep.
Everything.
Yep. I don't blame him.
I want you to understand.
I don't blame him. Kyo Asano is the... well, he's not the worst, because Riddy's worse, but is Riddy worse? That's a good question. I'll tackle that when we get there.
Okay.
I'll tackle that when we get there.
The road will take us across the blasted plains of Dagorlad to the very gate of Mordor. The men stir with restlessness, but they will obey their liege, whether he be Éomer or Aragorn. Others there are too have joined this host in cause of allied friendship. They have not turned back now. I believe they will never abandon us. I've shared these words with Peregrine Took here, and he has a courage about him.
We'll get there, Will. We'll figure it out when we get there. Because when we get to Eok, he's the worst, right? But up until Eok, which one's worse? Kyo Asano or Riddy Marcinus?
Yes.
Or Bask Alm. He's in there too.
No. Yeah, and Moon is best girl. I don't know. I don't want to.
No, that's for Luca. Always and forever.
This is the road to Mordor.
This is the road to Mordor. No one could mistake it for anything else. Looks as I would have expected it to look. Had I ever wanted to fill my heart with fright and my mind with unease at considering, I did not. Devon had some kind words to say concerning my courage, and I did not want to offend him by disagreeing, but I think he sees what is not there. If I were truly brave, would I feel so frightened at the prospect of taking this road? Certainly not. But Aragorn believes that we have to do this, and I have smarts enough to know he is more wise than I am. He says there is no other way. This hobbit will not gainsay him. This is the road we must take.
The road we must travel.
We shall see.
And we gotta go talk to Aragorn again.
All right, so back up the hill.
We shall see.
Get back up the hill and talk to Aragorn.
I finished my introduction quest to the Waste.
Oh yeah, he's right there. It's just a click, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You right here?
Yeah, but I think you gotta have the introduction quest first.
I got
Those are all-
way to talk to Damrod at the camp of the host.
Oh, you might have missed talking to Damrod before.
Let me saw. Is he up here close to Aragorn?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly where.
There's a couple of quests spread out through this camp here, but most of them are up here.
Yeah.
You see all the nice rings grouped together, right?
Quite a few of them. Stood in here. He's gonna die for sure. There's Damrod.
Okay, yeah, he's way up here.
Still working on the SA.
Okay, look.
Every victory
You're gonna have to.
is worth the effort in these dark days.
SA Unicorn?
Because I'm a nerd. So my brain went, and I'm playing Lord of the Rings. So my brain went second age. Now, if we had been talking about P Diddy,
I'm gonna need some clarification on that one, Will. I'm not sure.
what are his? Okay, I'm not worried about the.
Are the men ready to march?
What does Devon have to say? Are the men ready to march? You report the ranger's words, and Aragorn nods grimly. Pains me that such a course is necessary, but I take satisfaction in knowing the great loyalty and courage of the men with whom I march. Talk to Mithrandir.
Oh, the sound alert, the beam magnum. I completely forgot, Will. I do need to get that done. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. It slipped my
Yeah,
mind completely.
buddy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I want the beam magnum sound really bad. Shoot me a Discord message so I can remember, please.
I don't know why he's always yelling at me. It's your fault.
Legolas also has a quest behind us, too.
Okay.
Yorlith, all the way back? I'm not
Yeah.
going all the way back there right now. I'll accept it, but I'm not going all the way back there right now.
You were against the council of the captains, and you heard the arguments for and against the march to the Black Gate. You were at the council. We weren't against it.
Right.
We were at it, right? That's this march to the Black. I read the second line and the first line there. You must know of its importance as I do, but still I am troubled. Before battle-consumed Minas Tirith, I spoke with Faramir of his watch in Ithilien, and he told me that his men encountered two hobbits in the wild, Frodo and Sam. Briefly he held them, but he did not hinder their errand overlong, and soon released them to their purpose. But a third there was, and he served our friends as a guide, Gollum. Faramir spoke against the creature, but Frodo believed he could be trusted, and intended to follow him through a secret path into Mordor. The path is called Cirith Ungol. It is an evil place. I know enough of that path to know the danger that lurks there in the darkness. I fear that Frodo may trust his guide too readily. Alas, that our roads run apart. A fortnight has passed since Frodo and Sam departed from Faramir's care. My wandering mind worries at how little we know of their fates. Conjures terrible scenarios of what could have befallen. What has happened to our friends? What has happened to the ring?
You're right. The Unicorn Scream is also one I need to do. Now we do an instance, huh? An interlude.
Yeah, we can do the Gollum interlude right here.
Yeah.
What might have befallen Frodo and Sam since they left Henathan in the company of Gollum? Play.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I've always wanted to be Gollum.
Really?
No.
'Cause see, you got me this game where you could be Gollum.
I had every reason to believe that game would be good.
The stairs, Gollum, Gollum,
Gollum.
and then
Gollum. You have.
yes, this way, good hobbits.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So read off what he can do.
Oh,
Murder. That's what his movie is called. Murder.
634,500 common damage.
Yeah.
With a 4-second. Is he the strongest character in this game?
Strongest one we've got to play so far.
Goodness.
The hobbits must die. They must die, Gollum. But not yet. Not yet. Oh, no.
Can't see how much health they have to know if that would kill them.
Thank you for
I'm
bringing
assuming
us
they
this
will.
far, Smeagol. I know it could not have been easy for you to come this way again, or to creep so near to the city below. But you have done right by your promise. Just a little further, you said. I am ready to put these stairs behind us, and then we will need to rest, if we can. I'm so very tired. And Sam may not say it, but he must be as well.
Find the final stair with the hobbits.
It is a lot of damage. You're right.
Yeah,
It's the city down there. I want to see it so bad.
looking over the. Yeah, could you over in the corner there?
Mm-hmm.
Think on that Minas Morgul. What was it? Gollum said was it at the top of the stairs?
Will, would you mind just hitting them with the hammer? Or I can, either one. We are in an instant. I have the time now.
Yes, we will. That's right. I don't care too much for tunnels. The stairs, the tunnel, and Mordor. Who would have thought we'd make it there, Mr. Frodo?
I see what's coming up over the
I think
stairs.
we're almost at the top. Can't believe it. At last. Tower. There's the Tower of the Pass. I don't like the look of that at all.
Pretty intimidating.
Cirith Ungol. Your secret way is guarded after all, Gollum. I'll have you, Longshanks. I suppose you knew that all along. Leading us into a trap, are you? He was right, Sam. Every way into Mordor will be watched. In some fashion.
I like that they're filthy, too. That's a nice little touch to their models.
Look, we can rest over here, out of the wind. Sam and I need to rest from the climb before we move on to this tunnel you mentioned, Smeagol. I am exhausted, and I do not want to pass beneath that tower without recovering whatever strength we may. You should lie down and get some sleep as well, Smeagol. We will all need our rest for what lies ahead, I imagine. Lie down and get some sleep, as the nice master requires.
Very well.
Smeagol, sleep.
Sleep, precious,
Precious. Yes.
for a little while.
Wonder when we'll find water again. There isn't any up here as far as I can tell. You think there'll be any in Mordor? Almost orcs must drink, surely. They do, but not the sort of drink we would want. Appreciate that, Will. Filling our bottles is even more important. But I've heard not so much as a drip or a trickle. Apparently it said not to drink any water from the Morgul Vale.
Yes, precious.
So it doesn't matter.
Away.
Time to slip away.
Any water out of the Morgul, not into it.
You think they were originally supposed to be laying down there, and then they just didn't?
Or at least turned around.
What
Yeah.
do you want, precious? Leave me alone.
Oh, no. Master's kind. Smash. Dear Precious, don't go this way. We mustn't hurt the nice master. We swore, Precious. We swore to serve the nice master. Do not try to hurt him. Must not. Oh.
No, I know I've said this before, but your golem is great.
Thank you.
Sneak to the east towards the tunnel.
Weak. Do not listen to him.
That's right. He hates him.
That's perfect. Thank you, sir. I think I know who we're going to wake up over here, or at least say hi to.
Smeagol is back, the coward.
We shouldn't leave the hobbits. They trust us. They do. We swore on the Precious. Nice master trusts Smeagol. Yes. He's a friend to us, a good friend. We swore to serve the master of the precious.
Once we have the precious,
Precious, we will be the master.
That's right.
Where's it done?
Also, just the idea that this 3,000 health creature can do 634,000 is still
Alone, Smeagol.
boggling my mind.
This is the only way. Gollum.
It's master. Please, take her inside the tunnel. Oh, we can't bring the hobbits into her. She'll eat them, yes. Not just the fat one, but the master too. And Smeagol. Can't do that to them. No, Precious, no. Don't go to her.
Ungoliant.
She won't
I want the Precious there.
No, indeed.
Gollum. Throw an angle.
Like how the quest says, enter the tunnel, Gollum, Gollum.
What?
Download Dolphin to play Pokemon. Nice.
Now what was the right way?
Gollum. Rich findings. Tricks masters and nasty hobbitses.
Dum, 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 dum. Ungol hatchlings. I wonder who we're coming to see.
I'm not telling.
Ungoliant. Though you might know her by a different name, chat.
No, Ungoliant's long gone. No, if Ungoliant was here, there would be
You're right.
no. Sorry.
No, it's
kind
the
of-
child of Ungoliant.
Yeah, but yeah,
I was trying to scare the chat, Rungren.
Ungoliant killed the one tree.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to
The
scare him.
original.
Yes. Which way the Precious?
I do think this character has a great name.
Gollum?
No, the character we're going to go see. Gollum's name is great. But
Okay.
just something about that name is really good. Pokemon Coliseum, nice. Dolphin's fun.
No,
Oh,
not this way.
not this way. Not this way. This way's Precious. We find it.
That's a lot of orc bones.
Yes.
That way. Rubbed up.
They made
Sticky,
Ungoliant
nasty
into
words.
a magic card, and I can't bring myself to play Ungoliant. Doesn't feel right, you know?
That seems kind of nuts.
Yeah, it's very strong. It's very expensive mana-wise, but it's very strong.
Well, can you play like other Maya and more? Like, can you play?
No, it's just her. And
She's
Sauron,
not
I
a
guess.
Maya.
Right,
And neither Sauron,
right.
but
They're
yeah,
the closest you're going to get,
yeah,
you know?
they're stupid powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And Sauron's got nothing on Ungoliant.
Right.
Was it this way, Precious?
You can play Gandalf, Saruman, and Radagast too, but again, they're still not in the same tier as Ungoliant.
Not this way. No, not
No,
this
it's like,
precious.
not this Precious, not that way. Don't go that way. Jump, Precious, jump. Jump and run. More spider webs.
I'm being quiet because I'm watching a cutscene. Your first Pokemon game, Pokemon Coliseum, very nice.
Lust.
That's right, Precious.
I will pull up that card while we are
This way, Precious. This way.
waiting.
Swish and grind. Twist and pierce. Smash, smash.
Oh, I am stupid. It is Shelob, child of Ungoliant.
Way. No,
I just didn't read the whole card, I guess.
Yeah, it's not.
So I could play that card.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't feel right. Like, I'm not going to play Ungoliant at a table with, like, that's busted. But no, it's just Shelob. Just Shelob.
Right.
Gives other spiders you control Death Touch.
Oh.
And whenever another creature dealt damage this turn by a spider you control dies, you create a food token that's a copy of it. Fun stuff.
This way, precious. This tunnel, yes.
I think I just got lucky because there is no key to navigation in this tunnel on Gollum.
Am I going back down and out?
Because even just following the bodies, there's bodies everywhere.
Yeah. I think I'm going back to the beginning.
You're playing through XD right now. Pokemon XD is pretty good.
No
Gale of
telling
Darkness.
now.
All right.
I liked the first one quite a bit too. The Mirror Beast theme is really good. Shame the baby's not. That would be really cool if the baby showed you the way.
They might. I don't know.
Maybe they are. Yeah. To Pokemon Coliseum XD Gale of Darkness. It's a fun game. I wish they'd make another Pokemon Coliseum, but they're moving away from that and they're focusing on. I guess we could start talking about that now. On the Switch 2, Pokemon ZA Legend ZA, which is Zygarde, Pokemon Legend Zygarde, is coming out, and it'll be on Switch 2, but it'll also be on the Switch 1. And if you buy it on the Switch 2, you have to pay. First, you buy it on the Switch 1, then you pay $10 more to upgrade it. But you can run it on the Switch 2 natively without buying the upgrade, but it will only run it up to the max specs of the Switch 1. So, like, for instance, you get the Switch 2, you want to play, I don't know, because they wanted more money. It's like a hard limiter, right, that stops it from going to 60 FPS.
Yeah.
If you want to play Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, you can pay $10 to let it play at Switch 2 specs instead of at Switch 1 specs. It's like,
Is
okay.
it much better?
I guess it would have to be worth $10, right?
I
But
mean, I don't know what the specs are.
I'm not sure yet.
Like how much of a jump that is, right?
Yeah. I would think it would still be worth it just to play them on the Switch 2 anyway if you had it, because it has to run it better even if it is capped at those stats. But I don't know. Yeah, soundtrack for Pokemon Coliseum is great. But no, Switch 2, it's a weird thing right now. It's like $500. Games are $80 unless you're getting the upgrade, and then they're $10. And even like the demo game that comes with it doesn't come with it anymore. You have to buy it for $10 to understand all the features of the Switch 2. It's just really weird. Like, people were so excited when the Switch 2 Direct started
It's so disappointed by the end.
and so disappointed by the end.
That cutscene. I finally
Yes,
made it there.
yes.
I kept missing the tone to the end.
Understandable.
You remember? You remember poor Smeagol, yes? Not
Your lostness is rubbing off on him.
Not tasty at all. But Smeagol, he brings you tasty foods, yes?
The idea of him in front of her is just terrifying, right?
Yeah. No, I like it. It's good.
A gift, yes. A gift for you.
And just like she must be skittering around everywhere during that cutscene.
And then we will be free of our promise. And the precious will be ours.
Ugh.
There is no other way, Smeagol. No other way.
Just the idea of her just... And I like spiders, but like, ugh.
I don't.
I don't like spiders that are 10 times my size.
No, I couldn't do it. That's a nightmare.
Do we have to fight her in this?
You don't give me any spoilers.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Why would you?
I?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. No, I was excited about Switch 2. At $500, I don't care about Switch 2.
No.
You know?
I think some of these we didn't need to switch to you. Seriously.
Well, at $500, I would just buy a Series X to have a console in another room that can play all my stuff, basically. You know?
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that's if you got it on the Series X,
Yeah.
you get the updated version on Xbox.
Right.
You're not paying for unless it's Skyrim.
Yeah.
You're not paying for the extra stuff.
Or I'd buy a Steam Deck that already runs things at a higher resolution than the Switch anyway. You know? Like, it's just too high a cost.
In my heart, I guessed that Frodo and Gollum would meet before the end.
In my heart, I guess that Frodo and Gollum would meet before the end. But I hope that Frodo does not play blindly. For if he remains alert to the possibility of deceit, perhaps he can prevail. And perhaps he can prevent it before it leads our friends to harm. Or has it already done so? It's been 2 weeks since they left Henathan Unnan, and still there has been no word. If they fell prey to some treachery of Gollum's, surely we would have heard by now. Cirith Ungol. Mithrandir's voice trails away as his eyes search the horizon. After a moment, his attention returns, and a smile briefly illuminates his features. I should not have given in to these fears. The ring remains out of Sauron's grasp. Let that keep our hearts afloat and allay some of our worries. For if Frodo were betrayed to Sauron, I feel certain that the Dark Lord would make use of the ring at once, and we would know the end has arrived. That has not happened. The ring and Frodo have not been seized by the Dark Lord. Every step that Frodo takes towards the fire kindles our hope.
That's right. Take heart, Mithrandir.
Well, my favorite thing about Lord of the Rings that no, I don't think anybody's done as well as been done in other ways. It's like one of the powers of Sauron is just dread.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
His powers of dread. He sends out like real bad weather. And he, tries to make everything miserable.
Yeah.
Within his power.
So there's a guy in Trails. It's pretty late into the series, but I won't say too many spoilers. But he has a sword that is powered by fear. And so that's pretty much what he does. He commits acts of terrorism all across the country to make people afraid of him.
Yeah.
And so because he's holding the sword, he powers the sword up. At one point, he holds up what is effectively a nuclear bomb, right? And the fear is so great that it's like, how could anybody stop him? Had he been more focused with it instead of like a crazy guy, it might have been different, The GameCube edition sucks because you don't own the garden. That's fair. That's fair.
That's weird.
Looking at Fallout. Fallout's good. Fallout is good.
Yes. It is and it isn't. That. The series is great, and that's been her introduction.
Yeah,
So she's kind of got it unfair.
that's true.
It's like, you come in now?
You can play 3 or New Vegas or 4 with some caveats and you'll be fine.
Yes.
Games, you don't know the games? Yeah. Because the Dolph... Oh, in NSO. Yeah, right. In Garden, I thought you were still talking about Pokemon Coliseum. Yeah, so with the Switch 2 and with the Switch 1, if you want to play the GameCube games that are on there, you have to be a Nintendo Switch Online subscriber.
Yeah.
And you still don't get to buy the games. You just get to play them. So if you're ever not a subscriber, you don't get to have access to them again.
Right.
One of the games they added in there for the GameCube stuff is Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. So your choices, if you want to play Path of Radiance today, without having to emulate it. You can go spend $500 to buy a GameCube copy because it's extremely expensive to buy a GameCube copy nowadays. Or you could spend $510 to buy a Switch 2 and a month of Nintendo Switch Online so that you can play the game. Or you could just emulate it for free.
Now, so but that Nintendo's got the argument. No, it's accessible.
Yeah, it's accessible.
You can play it. This is not a dead game.
Yeah,
This is not Driver San Francisco.
right.
Right. You can't Ubisoft. You can't get that game anywhere. And there's one game Ubisoft has killed. Driver San Francisco. It is number 9 on the most pirated list.
Yeah, I'm sure.
On Pirate Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, guy did a video about this,
Yeah,
and it was actually this was just part of the video,
right.
and the premise of the video was really good. If I was a better person, I would tell you his name. Who made the video? Could have done pretty good. I don't remember what channel it was. It's just it asked the question was like, okay, there's first person video games, there's third person video games. What's the second person video game?
Yeah, and it's Driver San Francisco.
No, it's one mission.
One mission, yeah, the mission where you're. I'm trying to remember. You have been given the mission to kill a guy,
Yes.
and it turns out to be you.
Yeah.
And so you're
in driver's license, you got a special power.
Mm-hmm.
You take somebody else over. So when you take somebody over and you start driving the car, you're in this car is you driving the car that your body's in front of you, and just like maybe this is the closest thing I could think of.
Right.
Because in books it's easy, right?
Right.
First person is I. Mm-hmm. Second person would be you.
Yeah.
And then third person is them.
Yeah.
He, she, them, they. You're talking about that, but yeah,
they are.
What's funny is now there's rumblings that maybe Ubisoft ought to.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be maybe you should be able to get that game through Ubisoft.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Are you excited about the live action Death Stranding movie they're making?
No, I'm gonna watch it. I will watch it, but I'm keeping my expectations completely neutral because Hideo Kojima is involved, so I have to watch it.
So I'm wondering if they're gonna do kind of a brave thing, would it be the most honest thing to do? Is like if I was going to do it, and I'm doing the Death Stranding game.
Yeah.
It's not based on Death Stranding or
Right.
a prequel to Death Stranding or anything. It's Death Stranding game. I have Hideo play it.
Yeah.
I want to sit down and have him do the. No, you play it.
Yeah.
And go through it. Show me how it's supposed to be played,
Right.
so to speak, and then we'll start storyboarding from that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just going to be in that world where those creatures came through.
I assume they're going to retell the story of the game, but in a different fashion. Knowing Hideo Kojima, it will be different.
Yeah. I just wonder if it's like, no, that's this character over here.
It could be.
Not the character Norman Reedus was, but
it's a fantastically interesting universe.
Yeah.
But no, I have no expectations because nothing I expect will be right.
So, how excited are you about that the live action Gundam has picked an actress?
The fact that they've got somebody is already more of it's going to happen. The fact that they picked Sydney Sweeney already has me more excited.
Anything from 2011?
Right.
Okay.
Because she is a great actress.
Yeah. I wonder if she's going to be the protagonist, or if she's going to be. Now this is going to be, as we would say. I want to get in the club a little bit.
Yeah.
Speak a little Gundam. I wonder if she's just going to be. I wonder if she's going to be best girl.
I think she probably will be. Unfortunately, we've had one Gundam series that had a main character that was like the main focus character was a girl.
Yeah.
I don't think the first live action Gundam movie will do that. Much as I would be super down for it. We're about to have 2. G-Quox makes 2, but
They're casting her as Moon and going to tell the story from that part, that view. That's what they're doing.
Look, if they retell that, it could be great. If they tell it a new way, it could be great. Rasaramun and Sarasamun. Yeah, Wish for Mercury and G-Quox. Those are the two. One last thing I wanted to say about Fire Emblem and Nintendo Switch Online and all that stuff. If they remade Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, like as a combo deal, it would still be $80, which is ridiculous for a game that came out on GameCube. But if you emulate Path of Radiance has a sequel, Fire Emblem 10, which is Radiant Dawn, right? You can take your save file and transfer it over to Radiant Dawn. If you buy a physical copy and you have a GameCube to play it on or a Wii to play it on, you can transfer your save file to Radiant Dawn through the Wii. If you own Radiant Dawn and use the Nintendo Switch Online version of Path of Radiance, you can't transfer your save. So if you use the official way that is currently available to play that game, you cannot transfer your save.
Ugh. Lovely.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I had to say. We can continue on now.
Nintendo does weird things, man.
Yeah, they do. They make no sense.
Like, but with Nintendo, I guess Sony falls under this umbrella.
Yeah. Yep.
And like in my brain though, when we're talking about those two, my brain automatically switched to, yeah, this is a Japanese company. They're not doing American business.
Right.
They're doing Japanese business. It's a completely different, you know, they're thinking about things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And still there's stuff they do. I was like, I think that's a mistake.
Oh yeah.
You know, there were so many, especially over this past couple years, we've seen so many like developers and studios and stuff just blow opportunities.
Yep.
You know, Helldivers too. That they got all messed up. They did scramble their way back
They have.
a bit, but it's not. What
It's not as big. No, it's lost most of the player base.
Yeah. For a while there, you didn't have to do any marketing. Your players were doing it for you.
Well, Monster Hunter Wilds became one of the top 10 most downloaded games on Steam, and most people that are playing it have beat it now because it was very easy. You know, it's
Yeah. Well, Bethesda, they had the series blew up.
Yeah.
And they didn't really do anything with it. The patch they put out for Fallout 4 was broken. Mm-hmm. And so there's still some stuff that's still broken that they're just not going to fix. I think they're done. They're not doing anything else.
They're done with it, unfortunately.
Which is unfortunate because they could have had a game in every state.
Yeah.
From that engine.
I was at my local shop. Somebody brought up Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Right. I made a comment. I said, there's one thing about Fallout 4 that I cannot forgive it for. And I said, it's the robot racetrack. And from across the room, a guy playing Magic goes, it's garbage that they don't let you enter. And I was like, yes.
Yeah. It's like, in Lord of the Rings Online, I can bet on hobbits racing.
Yeah.
Granted,
Yeah.
once a year.
Yeah.
But I can place my
You can
bet
do it.
and watch my hobbit run and go cheer it on. When I first heard they were doing a Fallout TV show, I laughed because I was like, well, that's what Fallout 4 is.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any choice in it.
Yeah.
You know, everything is fake.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's the Potemkin village,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Well, it happens again with what's her name? Kate? When you go into the fight club?
Yeah, and you can't... See, originally, you were supposed to be able to go in there. You can enter a fight.
Yeah, that should have been there. That would have been
The
cool.
way you get Kate... The way you originally got Kate as a companion is you fought up to fight her
That
and
makes
beat
sense. That makes sense because she respects the strong.
her. Yeah, you know. And then you beat her, and then you go on. And it does that because there's a couple of good... Like her, I like her storyline
Yeah.
in that, and it works.
Yeah.
It actually works with the bugs.
Yeah.
Where your companion disappears sometimes.
Yeah.
It worked with her story.
She's out there fighting. Yeah.
But no, because she's like, oh, I've had it bad. I've been sneaking off and doing the psycho.
Oh,
and I don't
yeah.
think you've been
Yeah.
looking.
That's right.
And it's like, yeah, I've noticed that you've been gone from it. But, you always show back up.
Right.
But
Yes, someone agrees. Yeah. Pretty much.
validate my point. Or
Pretty much.
Validate my boy.
That guy and I played Magic again after that. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Validate me, please. I will get. Man, you're me so much. There's Microsoft's been kind of like Microsoft's been doing it too.
Yeah.
But not as much. Like Microsoft's got this weird.
They do.
It's weird. It's like 1 year. It's like, man, y'all are kicking ass. Way to go. Goodness gracious, man. You know, whatever. That's what are y'all doing? That's nuts. And then he's like, why would you say that?
Look, all I'm saying is, I'm not going to get into financial stuff too much here, but I put some money into Microsoft, into their stocks a couple years ago, and I can actively track their good and bad decisions from my portfolio.
Seriously, I'm like, I want to do a video where I'm like, look, Microsoft, I can just be about Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, I can raise your stock price,
Yeah.
get people even more pumped for stuff that's coming, and I don't have to do much. You know,
Yeah.
There's not. All I need is maybe 2 modders.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to put tiny stuff in the creation. All you need to do is show that you still care about this universe.
Yeah. I know. Me too.
Like I look back at some of the stuff that's been like a crash in the past. And it's like, and a lot of that. Let me think of a good one. World of Warcraft. Kung Fu Panda, right?
Yeah.
It's like you made a bad decision with the design of the game and where you went with it.
Yeah.
People didn't want that. People
That's
didn't
right.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that and I'm not trying to defend, Blizzard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know who I'm talking about here.
Right.
But like that was not. That was an honest mistake, so to speak, I guess.
Right.
It's like that. I was like, hey, we've had all the, we had Lich King come out,
Yeah.
and everybody grabbed hold of that, and that was great. So we're gonna keep doing this, keep expanding.
The important thing to remember with Pandaria too is that the content itself in Pandaria wasn't bad. It was just that's not what players wanted.
Yeah.
There was other stuff in the universe people cared more about, and Pandaria, the place we didn't even know about, was not it.
Right. There's other places that could have fleshed out and been like, that would have been better, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think it was like, I don't think that was in that moment, in that case, that was like Blizzard ignoring their players.
Yeah. They were like, hey, people are going to love this.
Yeah.
And it was a bad call.
It was a bad call. Yeah.
Also, to clarify, I also put money into Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo. I'm not just sitting here going like I'm an Xbox fanboy. I hedged my bets. I put money in all three.
Honestly, out of the three, at this point in time, in my history of gaming and watching the consoles, since their conception
Right.
of each individual one, I'm older than Microsoft.
Yep. I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to say it.
By 1 year, I realized, because Microsoft started. No. Microsoft's older than me, because this is their 50th anniversary.
We're both older than the Xbox.
Yeah, both older than Xbox. They got the gaming thing kind of late because
Yeah.
the PlayStation 3 was coming out. But out of the three,
Watch out, indeed.
right? Out of all three of them, Sony's kind of been like the biggest letdown for me,
Sure.
because I was such like nobody was going to touch the PS2.
Yeah.
All they had to do if PlayStation goes on that,
Yeah. See, I think I'm the opposite, but it's because of how big of a cultural impact the 360 had, and then the Xbox One was good. It was solid. The Xbox Series X has been solid.
Well, see,
But I
PlayStation
wanted-
3 is where PlayStation.
Oh, absolutely.
proved themselves.
Absolutely. And the PS4 has just been solid. The PS5 has just been solid, right?
Because the PS3, they were like, "No, we're the most popular.
Yeah.
we're number one.
Right. We don't have to.
We're charging for ours. So it was like $600.
Oh, yeah. I
for the
remember.
base machine coming.
I remember. I was working in a tech store when it first came out.
Right, and there were people that waited for it in line. But for a lot of people, they're like, they're.
Yeah.
I think what was it, $399?
We sold so many 360s because
Yeah.
people came in not knowing how expensive the PS3 was.
Yeah, and just got the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sony real stuff. Because right when it got mentioned and the price, I knew they were done. I was like, man, that's greed.
Yeah.
That is 100% greed.
Yeah. Well, back when we were streaming all the time, I had the PlayStation 5 in the office. That's still where it's at. That's where it stays,
Yeah.
Makes it easy to record stuff that's PlayStation exclusive because everything on the Xbox I want to play is also on my computer, But it's the Xbox that's in the bedroom,
Yeah.
So the Xbox it's not just a better media machine. The stuff that I want to play laying in bed, it's there, So it's a weird world we live in where the Switch stays where it's at until it's time to stream. Even though it's the portable console.
Yeah.
Dynasty Wars Gundam, yep. That whole series got spread out between a bunch of different consoles, made it weird.
Huh. Like the story, like an overarching.
No, like they're all different, but like the first two were on PlayStation first one was PlayStation 2, right? And then the second one was PlayStation 3, Xbox 360. The third one was Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. The fourth one was PS3 exclusive. And then we haven't had another one since then. But we should probably get back to Aragorn here.
Maybe so.
It's a good discussion, though.
That was a good rant.
Yeah. Do better, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo.
Yeah, right. Just companies in general.
But especially you, Nintendo. What are you doing, bro?
I don't know. Like I said, I understand. I'm excited. There's a part of me just as excited for the Switch 2. Just because the Switch is, except for the Joy-Cons.
Reborn's the best one. I do agree.
Except for the Joy-Cons, great console.
Yeah, and the Switch 2 is supposed to fix that.
And they didn't. It's not like, no, we're not looking for the best numbers.
Right.
But we're gonna have this, and we're gonna use what we have. We're gonna make great games.
And they did. They absolutely did.
Yeah.
The Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is incredible.
The last two Zeldas,
Both wonderful games.
wonderful games, both got huge on their own, And honestly, like Tears of the Kingdom, you start out Tears of the Kingdom, I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got all this stuff and all
Yeah.
the cool stuff I could do from Breath of the Wild. Can I move my save over? Type thing.
No.
No, you got whole new abilities, but it was a great game.
We've had some rough Fire Emblems on Switch, but that's okay. Not every one of them can be knocked out of the park. It's really hard for me, and maybe it's just because I'm getting older now, right? But it's really hard for me to go, yeah, I'll spend $500 on a handheld. When I remember spending $150 on the DS and being like, that's a little high for a handheld,
Yeah.
and just at $500, I could just get another Steam Deck.
It seemed okay. I was talking about the PS3 earlier, saying that was where
Yeah.
it seems like Nintendo's doing
Yeah.
the PS3 thing with the Switch.
Yeah, it's worth this amount, so we're charging this amount. It's like, well, you don't make your money back on the console.
Right.
You make your money back on the games.
All right.
But they're doing that too, bumping those up to 80,
Yeah.
which means everybody else is going to follow suit.
All right. My thoughts are also with Frodo and Sam. I fear for their safety in the company of Gollum, but I agree with Mithrandir that they must still be alive. We would know if Sauron had the ring. But my reasoning is not that of the wizard. I traveled with Frodo and Sam for almost 4 months. We had many adventures and braved many dangers. And even after so many shared hardships, I think Master Gamgee had only just begun to warm up to me, and perhaps did not yet entirely trust this Strider. He will not take his eyes off Gollum, even if Frodo perhaps will. I do not think Gollum will be able to take advantage of our Samwise, even if he thinks he can. They will be fine, as much as any might be whose misfortune it is to journey to the Black Land.
That's fair.
This is likely to be our last battle.
It is our misfortune that we must march to the Black Gate with little hope of our own survival. So many good men have placed their lives in their hands, trusting that this course is important. I believe that it is, but it does not make the burden of that choice any lighter. Some of my kinsmen are deep in thought, contemplating the roads that have led them here, while they ready themselves for the roads to come. Will you speak with some of them and put into words how grateful I am for all they have done? This is likely to be our last battle. I want them to know that I appreciate their service not only as their captain or their king, but also as their friend and kinsman. This may be my last chance to tell them so, and I do not want to miss that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Lothrandir.
There's also a Legolas up here if you want a quest from him.
We'll keep off those. I'm good on the quest, and I've got
We don't.
my quest book kind of full.
Couldn't jump on this wagon. Also, I was going to mention tonight that I tried that new Path of Exile update, Path of Exile 2.
Yeah.
It's a great game, right? Path of Exile 2, still in early access. They're changing some stuff. They bumped down player damage by like 25 to 50%, depending on your skills.
Yeah, I'm sure Elon was just doing too good at it.
Yeah, And it takes so long to kill regular mobs now. Like it's supposed to be a fast-paced ARPG, right?
Yeah.
And it does not feel that way right now. It feels very slow. They have a new class in there. The new class is fun, but I don't know. I'm gonna keep trying to level it to get it to some harder stuff, but I am not loving the changes they've made so far.
Okay.
They've announced they're making a hotfix to raise player damage again, because even they know that it was too much. I went the wrong way.
You approach Lothrindir's surfaces from assaults of home.
Our journey has been full of hardship.
Once I spoke to you of my travels, of my adventures in the wooded lands of Inidways and the rocky heights of Thrall's Combe. They are dwarfed now by the memory of these last few weeks. From the dungeons of Isengard to the fighting on the Pelennor, our
Isengard.
journey has been full of hardship. My mind turns now to my home at Surikile in Forkhel. I do not think I will see it again. But I am at ease knowing that I've done what I can for the snowmen, and they will persevere as they always have done. I will follow Aragorn, wherever he leads. Radonir. Look, there's not a lot of you guys left, okay?
Yeah, that's very true.
We've been through a lot together. Most of it was unpleasant. I'm not complaining, not really. If it was to be easy, it need not to have been the Dunedain's task to face it.
It's fair.
I said as much to Elwillith once, but she has gone away and will never return. You think that the folk of Middle-earth will appreciate everything Aragorn has done? I do not expect our names to be remembered, but if there is any justice, Aragorn will be remembered fondly and well by the people of Gondor and Rohan at least. Radonir is silent for a long while, and you're about to leave him when he speaks, at last. It seems there will be no peaceful tavern for us at the end of this road. After everything we've gone through, I suppose I'm not really surprised.
He had to leave Elwillith behind.
Coronir.
He's over here.
Yeah. And there is only a handful left.
Yeah.
What didn't die?
What was that in front of him?
I don't know what that was. I saw it disappear, though, when we got it close.
I am not afraid of Mordor, or its black
I watched the departure of the faint-hearted, and I felt no scorn for them, though there was a time in my life when I might not have understood their choice. I see that their path, too, is in service of the host of the West. Our own road takes us to Mordor. We have the courage to go that way. I'm not afraid of Mordor or its black gate. Neither am I afraid of the Dark Lord or his armies. I'm not afraid of Mordorith, no matter what he names himself. I'm not afraid of death, for I have lived a life enriched by friendship and laughter. I know that endings must always come, soon or late. I am made strong by the love of my friends and the memories I carry with me, and no orc or wraith or beast can conquer that strength. At long last I am at peace. I will follow Aragorn to the end, with an unburdened heart.
As you should, Coronir.
Now to Calaglad.
Said he's north of Coronir?
Yeah, he's over here. Oh, that's what the stuff they're thinking about. That's
okay.
From
Yeah.
Kennedar.
Yeah,
You did those quests, right?
I did, yeah.
Where you got to
Mm-hmm.
that was
Ninuel.
Yeah.
Ninuel.
yes.
Yeah,
One of those two.
yeah.
Or not. It's close.
Right.
But yeah, that was like, what do I do? What do
So what we saw Cornir thinking thereof was of Angmar, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It flashed out with the regiment.
Oh, which means Cornir was thinking about Galadir.
Yeah. I've never broken a promise. Calendad looks at you sadly and holds up a finger to halt your reply. I have sought to live my life with honor, making good upon my promises and oaths I have taken. I swore an oath to aid Aragorn, my chief, in all things, and I have done so as best I could. That oath has taken me far from home to the very doorstep of Mordor, but my heart remains on the shores of Lake Nunio. I promised to return when my duty in the Southlands was done, but it does not seem that any of us will return. After all, what were the words of Gwyndith? That the return of Elendil's kingdom would be worth some measure of sorrow? Did she speak the truth? I do not know, even now.
You're in love with a lake.
Yep. I understand we can't speak to all of them, but it's a shame that we're not talking to like Faron and Tekaron and Langles. And, like, they've always been there, you know?
Yeah. But think of the ones we can speak to no longer.
Yeah. It's very true.
Sarid.
Galadir.
Right by the door.
We can see who Aragorn's thinking of, too.
Elf chat.
None of us are free of worry.
None of us are free of worry or free of regret. But still we move forward in spite of those feelings. That is all we can do. That is what we must do.
Have a good one, Will.
See you later, Will! A good one.
I should hold up.
Congrats.
Level 109.
For the
Holy cow.
West to begin its march.
I'll give the order to the host of the West for the host of the West to begin its final march. But I need you to go forward in the vanguard, leading the way and making safe our passage. The foes who raid against us have been commanded to let us pass. I would not be surprised if the more ambitious among the number think to increase their own fame or notoriety by slowing our progress. Beat these foes and any other beasts that threaten, and look for Langlas in the ruin of Herondir, northeast of here. I don't know, Aragorn. You're the one that knows, supposed to know all this stuff. You will know where else to scout in advance of the host. Once you've evaded Langlas, rejoin us in the north of the Black Gate, and we'll prepare for the final throw.
All right, then. Also, just a reminder, there will not be a stream tomorrow or Friday.
Yes.
And then there will not be one Monday, but there should be one that next Tuesday and next Friday. So you'll effectively get a week.
Right? Yes.
Just a weird week.
Man, now I can talk.
Mablung.
Strange howling rings through the... There's a companion you can get in here.
Ooh.
Through here.
You find the source of the howling?
Through here. There's somebody you can talk to. Right now I'm out here looking to kill 6 red dot things.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, you almost took him with 1.
I'm 109 now.
Yeah, I'm halfway through 103. I'm gonna have to...
Yeah, we may have to take a night where we do skirmishes or questing or missions, one of the 3.
Yeah. Oh, nice. That's all. Turn just in time to see that lightning come from the sky. And kill it.
But no, Path Exile 2, really, really fun when it first came out. And having so much stuff nerfed. I don't understand why devs make this mistake, right? Players play game to have fun.
Yeah.
It can be fun to face an insurmountable challenge.
Give you some sense of, like, I did it!
Right. It can be fun to just clear things out without trouble, right?
Yeah.
But if you take a game where you have been clearing things out without trouble, and the whole point is fighting screens full of enemies and succeeding, and then you make it where it's an insurmountable challenge with screenfuls of enemies. That's not fun. Don't take the fun I was having and change it to the other extreme.
Yeah.
That's part of my problem with Monster Hunter Wilds is like I'm playing one of the older Monster Hunters again on my Switch. It's the only time that I've taken my Switch off the dock in a long time. But it doesn't run most games well undocked, you know? But
Yeah, that's true. It runs better.
I've been playing Monster Hunter GU, and it's fun. The fights aren't like super hard or super long, but it's fun having fights that I have to actually try for again, you know?
Yeah. I don't want the game to be too easy. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to. I need some risk factor.
That's right.
I don't want Battletoads again either, though.
Yeah. Give me a good in between. I'm almost caught back up to you, I think. I think we went two different ways at first.
Yeah, I'm making my way over to this Ruins Tower.
Yeah.
Fort thing over here. That's where Langless is. There's a few rangers in there.
While you make your way that way, I'm making my way downtown, walking fast.
Downtown.
No, it just feels like very, very often recently a game has been doing very well, and the devs were like, oh, the players are doing too well. And it's like, this is not a PvP game. Man, it's fine. Let the players do well.
Yeah.
You
So
brought
one
up-
of the guys that left Bethesda not too long ago, like I'm sick of this. I'm gonna go make my own game.
Yeah.
Can't remember what game he's working on. If he can release. But he started when Bethesda was less than 100 people.
Right.
You know, and I was talking about the difference. It's like it's so much different when you've got 500 than you do 100.
Yeah.
With 500, everybody's worried about deadlines and sticking on it. When you have 100, you know, they can cap and what's this? Race crown and a cap of even gleam?
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I see some bone mallow.
that.
Like bone marrow?
But this guy, when they were doing the balancing in Skyrim, they were using AI
Yeah.
to test the balance of them. And he's watching. He's like, players don't fight like that. They jump and they move around and everything. So before release, in the 2 weeks before it was released, he spent those 2 weeks rebalancing everything in the game.
Huh.
Where it got released.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So he was kind of somebody putting in love like that. That was not like he did that out of love, right?
Yeah.
No, I want this to be great.
Right.
100%.
That orc just resisted my lightning.
I didn't resist my mug.
Oh, that's true. Get mugged. Need another one of these, too. These are waste bears. That means they're from Fallout, right?
Yeah, those are the Yao Guai.
What are the Kuei Jin from? Why does that name keep coming to my mind?
The Kuei Jin?
Yeah, we'll look it up. So we're about to be talking to somebody, right?
Yeah.
A minute.
Sickly light plays of the stones of Herondir. The air smells foul.
Do they not have a stable master here? They don't. Okay.
All right. Check it.
Yeah.
Read this off.
Place. An empty place.
This is a dead place, an empty place. I do not like it. There will be many places such as these as we get nearer to Mordor. How could anyone live here? The answer to that question is a simple one, I suppose. No one does live here, not truly. Not good folk, at any rate. I've heard tell from the rangers of Ithalia that there are few sites throughout the wastes in which evil folk dwell. These places should be scouted before the host passes near. Find Doom Boha in the No Man Lands, and Dol Achan in Odahir's Folly in Daggerland. Defeat any enemies that may endanger the passage of the host. Once the way is safe, the hosts of the West will assemble outside the Black Gate, and we will see what awaits us there.
All right. I've looked it up. The Quagen are vampires in Vampire Masquerade, World of Darkness. They're the Asian vampires. They're called Quagen.
Okay, but that's not the Japanese word, is it?
No.
Guan, not Guan Yi. What is it?
You're thinking of the Chinese word,
Chinese.
Zhangshi.
Yeah. Sorry, Chinese word. I did not mean to get those mixed up. It doesn't sound right. Okay, so we're gonna head
I got a mark on my map here, but I don't know what it's for. I also picked up every quest on the way out there.
Right.
There's
You
an
want
ancient
to-
weapon here. I don't know why. I'm picking it up. In case it was important. Relics of the Last Alliance. Like the Last Alliance of Elves and Men? Last Alliance?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is the big field that they were fighting.
That makes sense. I don't know why it's telling me there's a quest marker like right here, but maybe it was just for that stuff and I've already picked it up now.
So, I gotta.
Music here's interesting.
Yeah. The score's great on this game. It's like they could have just like moved Angmar music over,
Yeah, they could have.
you know, and changed it a little bit, but no, it's its own thing.
Finding more Eothiod artifacts. I have no idea which quest that is either. Oh, it's Remnants of the Eothid. That makes sense. Also a lavish dagger lad chest.
Very lavish.
Relic of the
There's a guy
battle.
up there.
And a ranger cache. Well, I'm finding everything down here.
Oh, okay.
A forgotten cache of the rangers.
Okay. Hey, you beat somebody up.
I killed an orc. He spawned in on top of me while I was collecting relics. Trying to find my way up this tower you're on.
Right on. I'm making my way over to
Downtown?
Narcos.
Very cool.
The east. And then Odin, and then probably Dol Arca. No, we need to go to Odahir's Folly first
Okay.
on that. Right. Use my brains a little bit because I've been
gonna-
through here.
Mount up. Right across this blasted plain.
Right? I can see the building. I'm gonna beat up some stuff.
I might as well kill some stuff on the way too.
Beat this bird up. Yeah, 'cause I'm halfway through 103.
Yeah.
But yeah, with you beat at 109, I'd like to need at least get to 105 before you get to 110.
Right. I don't know if I'm close enough that you're getting XP when I kill things, but I'm making my way to you.
And I don't think so because like this killed something. I don't think they gave you XP for anything.
This map's big.
Yeah, it is pretty good sized map, and it's not empty.
Right.
This bear is tough. It is higher level.
I threw you a heal. No, I'm close enough now because you're within heal range.
Right? See, we need to go up in here.
Up in here?
Yeah. It's-
Up in here.
Yeah, we're going to that. See the tower right there? You kind of see
The
it.
tower on the T is on the very brink of doom.
Oh, door of the 9 fingers and the ring of doom.
I like how the following line on that is, why does he have 9 fingers? Where is the ring of doom?
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty good tagline, you know? Like that,
Yeah.
that catches me.
Gollum made it.
Why is there a pit here?
Hydra Mortars are encamped in the mountain. They prepare for combat. Okay.
Why is there a hole here?
Where are you going, buddy? Oh, no. I can't get up there to you. That's fine.
What made this?
I don't know.
That's concerning.
Close there, Dumbo.
That's concerning.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
There's a lookout here. He was trying to look out, but he's not looking out for this. I got you.
Oh, God. Why? No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
I gave you a heal.
Thank you.
Lookout did not die to burn damage like I thought he would.
Going up to oh, to Here's Falling.
Okay.
Kill 2 more things on the way up there. I'll be set on that one.
Might as well.
See what Here's Folly along the way there.
We ride.
Which I don't know if you know this, but Middle Earth is something called somebody's folly. That means somebody went there and screwed up.
Yeah.
Somebody famous went there and screwed up.
They done made a mistake.
They just named the place after that person the mistake.
Somebody should have called it Isildur's Folly.
That's not here.
No, I know. He was a...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's Brown's Folly outside Arquette.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
It's a lot of birds flying around that thing. I'd assume they're carrion birds.
Dig the sky. If you take, like, if you do a full 360,
Yeah.
like scan the land. There's a black gate over there, red sky. It's
That's the mountain I think it is, isn't it?
no.
No?
That's the mountains around.
Oh, okay.
That is not already here. But in the tongues of man. Doom. Hey, fellas. Oh yeah, this guy's a request. Man,
That's a lot of bones. You guys bring all these bones here, bone hoarders?
All right. Yeah, yes they did. One more. Let's go around and pick up some of these guys. A lot of them real close together, and I think we marched through them.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2,000 something.
A piece.
Yeah, not bad.
They do hit kind of hard.
All right.
Boop. I also hit kind of hard.
Yeah, you did.
Keep thinking that I can hit them with one and they'll die to the fire damage, and that has not continued to be the case.
No, but I mean,
But-
you're still taking a big chunk with with a good lightning shot.
And instead, they're taking rungren damage whenever they run to me. It works out pretty well.
What the hell? You can get those guys up there. I can't.
Yeah, I can get them.
But they don't have much to. They can do.
Boop. That one should die to fire. And then this guy. Somebody died to fall damage.
One more guy up there. There he is.
I don't have big lightning up, but I can hit him with a regular one.
That's all right. I got it. Yeah.
There we go.
I mugged him.
That is a
I
good
mugged
chunk
him
of
and
XP.
it worked. So
It all worked out in the
it
end.
did. All right. Let's get up here. There should be quite a few red dots up there, I do believe.
Toonpole, Aeolingus.
Back and forth. I do believe there's. Yeah. Big orc encampment around right here's Folly. Yes.
Oh boy. It's one of those zones that I really just want to explore, you know?
You should before we get back to this.
Yeah.
There's not near as many quests as like there's a bunch of quests in every zone, right?
Yeah.
But not like Angmar.
Right.
But there's definitely, I know it's going to push you even further ahead
Right.
of me, but like I said, if you're that far ahead, we just skirmish. You'll be basically power level me anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Well, up until last week when I realized that I hadn't done all the Rohan quests, even though I thought I did, I was very firmly against the main quest ever being gray for me.
Yeah.
But now that I've done some gray questing for that, I was like, well, it's not really that bad, you know?
This guy's straight up in the air. I can't do nothing.
I see him. It's not ideal, but it's not terrible either. Did you mug him as he was falling?
Yes.
Nice.
I don't think I really helped anything, but it was funny.
I'm choosing to believe that he died from his dignity being destroyed.
All right, let's see if we can get. We need to get out of here.
But did we? Oh, we did already get the thing. Yeah.
It's just kind of fine and get. There's not anything to kill.
Hmm.
We've already got the kill list, just stuff around there.
Yeah.
We head over to this road.
Dol Arkan. Arkarn.
I think so. That would be. I don't know if that's Black speech or Elvish.
I mean, we did meet Achador before. It's hard to say. Also, even if the main quest does get down to gray for me just from doing this stuff, it won't be long before it jumps up again.
Is it green now or light blue?
Light blue. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Because if you stay in an area and doing a bunch of quests, your epic quest will probably stay gray once you after you hit a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Not at first, but you're gonna get a point where.
And that's what I'm trying to avoid, you know.
Yeah. Because the amount of content is stupid.
But I did all of the questing. I do have the tortoise I could put on. But I did all of the questing around.
Stone of the tortoise, so you stop the experience
Yeah.
thing? Yeah, gotcha.
So if it ever gets to the point where it looks like it's going to hit gray, I'll put that on. But I like being able to be higher level too, so that we do kind of breeze through some of the easier stuff.
Right. Because this is about, we're getting through the story as far as we can go. And if you end up getting Gundabad,
Yeah.
or the
Then,
3 Peaks.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll be a little bit further.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the only one I have to get us through progression that I don't already own. So I think we'll be able to go straight through to Umbar. Because I think by the time we get there, I'll have earned the...
I don't know where the main quest caps out. Like, there's some areas you probably be able to go through, you follow the main quest through. I think,
Yeah.
But you can't do anything in the area. Because, like, right now with Rungren, I'm at the new expansion area. And I don't have it, but the main quest leads through there.
Yeah.
So I'm going through there.
I'm at 920 right now.
That's pretty good. I don't have near that many. I mean, we need to watch out for some of the things that fight over here.
Yeah.
I did get some the other day when Faith and I were on it, but it was only like 20. 305.
Yeah, very nice.
But you see the horsemen, the ghost horsemen and stuff?
Oh. Yeah.
Trying to get what's there. Take damage.
Oh,
Get back over to the road. I'm gonna die over here.
what caused this? Because he disappeared and then we started taking it.
It's that area,
Okay.
that whole area. So if you're in there and you get attacked,
You're probably dead.
now only the base remains. Now we're gonna head back. Aragorn will have moved.
Okay.
This was basically to pull you far enough away to where you can't see that spot.
Yeah, so they
You can
can.
change it.
Yeah.
And go through. Now there's a couple quests here. A couple of just quick kill quests.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting pretty close. Come on, come on.
So I've been doing a bunch of crafting, and so completing a bunch of deeds that way.
Yeah. Now I'll get you some few LOTRO points.
And then whenever I'm running around mining on my champion, if I run past an enemy of any kind, I stop and just shoot it with a bow. She's already like 34, so they die instantly in Bree, you know? And so that's just racking up those Knickerbreakers and all that stuff
Yeah.
for deeds.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've done it. I've done that with Rungrun, but I have a bunch of back deeds, so it's great stuff.
Yeah.
Just run through and click.
Right.
Fire, target fire, target fire, target fire. Build it all up. There's the black gate. I
Yep.
see it.
Yep. Mordor.
Build me an arm.
I don't remember if I told you this or not, but I was talking about magic and like Lord of the Rings stuff and magic earlier. After what happened with Galadir, I built a Gothmog deck. I was like, look, this is how I can immortalize Galadir and the price that he paid to make it where Gothmog is able to be killed, you know? Because he was Mordorith. Because there's not a Galadir card, or I would have built a Galadir deck.
Right.
Should
Obviously, they didn't do the cards right then. Did
right.
They?
There should be a Galadir.
Come to it at last.
We've come to it at last. Climb to the top of the Slag Hill and look to the south. What waits for us at the Black Gate of Mordor? Okay, let's to the south. It's over this way. Down here. I'm telling you, I can explain the first time coming through here with the Rundgren after all the years of playing this game.
Yeah.
I was like on edge of my seat, literally.
There it is.
Yeah. Is this a good area? The field before the Black Gate of Mordor is empty and quiet. All right, let's go back and talk to Aragorn.
Yep. This would be a terrible place to fight a battle. Which is probably the point as to why it looks like this.
Yeah.
Is that a ship? Oh no, that's the ruined cart. Okay. For a second I thought there was somebody that had like sailed a ship all the way up here.
How did they get here?
Right?
Sauron is waiting.
What did you see from atop the Slag Hill? Aragorn listens to your account. All was quiet and still, I see. And I am not surprised. Sauron is waiting. I do not take the empty calm before the gates to be fact, and neither should you. The Dark Lord's armies are arrayed before us, though we do not see them. No, though we see them not. He waits to unleash them, for he wants to see what we will do. Oh man, it's so close.
Right.
I don't have enough room.
Uh-oh.
I'll get some dadgum room. Hold on. Sure, I got. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Then that. Then that. Then this.
There is no sense in delaying.
Then
what must
this.
come.
There's no sense in delaying what must come. There must be a parley. I will go forth with a small group of my most trusted allies and call for Sauron's surrender. I'd be honored if you would accompany me, my friend. I do not expect the Dark Lord to give in to our demands, but I still must offer him the opportunity. Speak to me when your preparations are made, and we will go together. You bet, buddy.
Okay.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah, you can drop.
I'm assuming, yeah, I assume this is going to be a solo.
Yes. Travel now.
Let's do it. This will probably be the last thing we do tonight here.
There may not be no coming back from this.
We have come to the very door.
Oh, it's right there.
Challenge the Dark Lord Sauron.
Elmer King.
Be no turning back now.
Oh, sorry, guys. I'll get on my horse.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same.
Everybody's on their horse.
Except for Dervlin.
Yes. And Gimli's riding with Legolas there.
Yeah.
All is still and silent, but I do not trust its emptiness. Do not be fooled by the quiet. There are eyes upon us, though we see them not. Let us ride near, and I will call for Sauron's surrender. We go now to treat with Mordor. I've asked all of you to accompany me, so every land that opposes Sauron will be represented.
Yeah.
It is time.
It is time.
Whoa, don't get ahead of the king. There's no rush.
Right.
Oh, I thought I had the biggest horse. Shadowfax over there. Look again.
Yeah.
That was awesome. This is far enough. Unfurl them banner. Let them see who they're dealing with. That's why Dervin was walking.
Yeah.
Stand over here by my boy Dervin.
I'm standing with Aylmer King.
Hearken to me. Gondor has come to your border with just grievances and fair demands. Send forth the Lord of the Black Land. I'll get you back. Wrongfully has he made war upon Gondor, taken its lands. Let him come forth and answer for these crimes. Elroy. Stay behind me, Master Halfling. What is happening? King of Gondor, I demand that Sauron come forth and atone for his evils.
And yet there is no answer. Oh.
Someone comes. Is that the Dark Lord?
This will be the mouth, right?
Yes. No, Sauron will not leave his lands until victory is assured. He sends a servant to us. Messenger only. I do believe he gets bad dread when he gets him close.
Yeah.
Might be offset by Gandalf. Indeed, but it would be wise not to underestimate this messenger. He must be deep in the enemy's. And the mouth of Sauron. Oh, I am the mouth of Sauron, and I speak for he who resides in the Dark Tower. I see none who have authority to treat with me. Certainly not thou. I am not to be touched. I'm taken to the herald.
Gandalf said, "You had nothing to fear from us, messenger, till your errand is done. But if your master does not repent of his evil, you will be imperiled indeed."
We are surprised to see thee with this rabble old greybeard. Dost thou not sendest others to their doom, hatching thy plots from a safe distance?
How dare you, first off.
I have tokens I was bidden to show thee. Thou shouldst dare to come.
Oh, I know what these are.
Watching Aragorn and Mount Sauron. He the guys behind it. I think a couple of them say something.
Yeah.
sword.
And a cloak. Cloak that looks to be of elvish make. And another, tattered. Oh no! Says Pippin. Quiet, Peregrine. See to him and tell him to hold his tongue. I'm coming, Pippin.
Surely you must recognize those items as Frodo's mail shirt. The one he had from Bilbo. The grey cloak and the elven brooch pinned to it. Like the one I had from Lorien. Damn sword. Or I'm a buffin. How did this terrible messenger have to come to those items? What has happened to Frodo and Sam?
You silence Pippin with a look, but he is crestfallen and his outburst cannot be taken back.
Of course.
Mouth of Sauron smiles with cruelty and avarice.
You have another of these imps with you. I do not know what you should find in them. Sending them as spies into Mordor is foolish, even for you. But this imp does me a service, and I thank him for it. You cannot deny these tokens now, for he plainly has seen them before.
Who decided to bring Pippin? Oh, right, Aragorn. I do not seek to deny them. I know all their history, which you do not. But why bring them here?
Coat of dwarves, cloak of the elves, blade of the fallen west. And a spy from the Shire, home to rats. Aye, we know of it. Who bore these tokens might be dear to you, and he might not. But if you would grieve to lose him, I advise you to think most carefully. Sauron bears no love for spies. His fate will depend on your choice. Good. I can see he was dear to you. Or maybe his errand was one you did not want to fail. It has.
Has it now?
Now your little spy will suffer the worst torment the Dark Tower can devise. You will never see him again, or perhaps he'll be released when he is broken. And he will come to you thus changed, and you will see what you have done. That is what will be, unless you accept my lord's terms.
Name these terms.
Gondor's rabble will withdraw beyond the river Anduin. They will take oaths never again to assail Sauron the Great or his subjects. All lands east of the Anduin will be Sauron's in perpetuity. Lands west of the Alderaan will be subordinate to his will. The men of those lands will arrange their own affairs, but bear no weapons. They will help to rebuild Isengard, and Sauron's lieutenant will dwell there. He will rule over the remains of the West.
Saruman.
Nay, not Saruman.
He's. Oh, you normally do Aragorn.
He speaks of himself.
This is much to exchange for the delivery of one prisoner. Has Sauron's defeat on the field of battle so demoralized him that now he must haggle? Where is this prisoner? Deliver him to us and we will consider Sauron's terms.
Insolence! You are in no position to make demands of Sauron. Those are the terms. You will take them, or you will leave them.
I would speak with you.
Okay. What you got to say, buddy? We're all ears. Go ahead. You got this one too.
Okay.
So Bart.
Steel your heart for the trials ahead. That Sauron has either Frodo or Samwise in captivity seems certain, but you must have noticed, as I have, that this messenger speaks only of one prisoner, not of two, and yet those items are unmistakable, and were in the possession of both our hobbits. I do not want this vile messenger to keep them. I will distract him, and I want you to retrieve these items in memory of our friends. No!
I can't pick these out. There we go.
Sorry you're having such a hard time with it, Faith. We take these items in memory of our friend.
Can't get them out of lid B. That's weird.
As for your terms, consider them utterly rejected. Pretty sure Aragorn's supposed to... We did not come here to waste words with Sauron, or with his slaves. Like, Aragorn's supposed to be doing the... Your protection is Harrow is near its end, and death is close at hand for you. Now be gone. Gandalf, I think you were supposed to be letting Aragorn take charge here, buddy.
He's tired of it.
Yeah.
Well spoken, my friend. Now we will see what answer Sauron will make.
Ooh. Yep, that's a lot of...
Easterlings and orcs, yeah?
Uh-huh. Faith, can you still do the instants to be able to get the spring things?
Now she got to lead the bees.
Oh, that's what she means by that. Okay.
Grimmbjorn, yeah.
Yeah. This might sound weird. Have you tried booting the store in the game? Sometimes that causes like a full reset of stuff. Battle of the Morannon.
Do not give up hope. We must stand as tall as we may, or Frodo and Sam will have gone to the doom for nothing. We'll not allow this to be. Quest of the Ring has failed, but we must not give in to despair or betray the men who fight alongside us. The day is dark. Let our blades and our hearts oppose the evils that will forever silence them, and avenge our friends upon these foes.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
The Black Gate has opened, and the armies of Mordor stream forth from Sauron's land, seeking to put an end to those of us who vex him still. This is where we will make our stand. Sauron's warriors have formed a ring around the Slag Hills. Fight them as they approach and keep them from advancing. Stand with our friends and allies and aid them as you can. We must hold out for as long as we are able.
Unplugged your router in case it was your network. Man, that's rough.
Yeah.
I feel like this is either the best or the worst spot to end on tonight. You know it?
Yeah. We've got 14 kills to make, right?
Four.
Just 4.
We could do the 4 kills real quick. And then we should probably do the code before we stop, too.
Oh, that didn't count.
That didn't count for you?
No. I'm not pegged him.
That one didn't count? Oh, we're not in a group anymore.
Oh.
Please do.
Absolutely, right. Thank you.
That one should have counted for you.
It did. Talks are down, but
Should be at 4 now.
and that's when I ran. Okay.
Yep.
And I run so far away.
Oh, I put a slash right at the end. Wasn't paying attention. Of course it wasn't.
Oh, where's there? There one's over here. I'm trying to get in range.
There we go.
We do the store right here. I can see Dervin down the hill.
Yeah.
You praying right there too? Nice. And that's when I ran.
And that's when I ran.
10% run speed boost.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Not a bad run.
So we're going to talk to Dervin and end, or are we going to wait to talk to Dervin until 2 weeks from now?
Let's
Which do you think is more dramatic?
Alright, talk to Dervin one.
Okay.
Is this to be the last battle? My heart tells me this is so, and though it be a sorrowful thing, I'll be glad to see the end of wartime and have rest. Palpable hit.
That's a throwback.
Yeah.
You remember to where?
No.
There's guys sparring in Esselden.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay.
I find no joy in battle, my friend, but I find that I am uncommonly good at it, truly. I will use that skill to defend the men at my side until my last breath is stolen away by some lucky stroke. Fight onward. Make our foes pay for the evils that they have done, but still hope to do.
Helm's Deep's a good guess. There are more of them. Oh man, I get some lag for a second there. Trying to load that view from the top of the hill. Oh, another one just spawned in. Still only counts as one.
Right. There only counts as one.
Next up is Lothran deer over here.
We talked to him. It's kind of a...
Right.
Stand fast, men! They seek to cow us with their numbers, but each of us is worth a dozen of these mindless thralls. My limbs are heavy and my breath is short, but I will do what I can to support Aragon and my kinsmen. Fight on! Fight on!
That's already two.
Yep. He did. He did tell me about my neighbor.
Yes, we went there.
one.
One, I want to show them how empty it was and show them your new house.
Yeah.
So we stopped by there earlier. Damn.
That's two. Now let's talk to Gimli.
We make our round the ring of... Because fishing
fair.
out back.
That's
Right
fair.
there on the pond.
See also, I see that you've already slain your share of orcs. Legolas has also cut an impressive swath, but he tells me his supply of arrows will not last long. Perhaps you can help him with this. The battle has only just begun, but there's no need to worry about our respective tallies this time. There are plenty of foes for all of us.
That's the truth.
I have enough arrows for the moment, but Gimli is right. My supply will run low if the tide of enemies is not slow. Many archers of Gondor and Rohan have already fallen to the arrows of Mordor. Some of their quivers remain full, or nearly so. Go to the archery lines and look for our fallen unfortunates. If you turn to me with a number of full quivers, I'll be able to maintain my current pace. Continue to support Gimli with my bow. I thank you for undertaking this helpful task, grim as though it may seem.
That's fair.
That's all right, man. Run over here and get all these quivers of arrows from dead guys. He's not using this anymore.
I'm not sure, Fate. That's a good question.
I haven't clicked it. They've always been out when I was there. But if you've got permissions for people, for everybody, all the stuff should work.
Yeah.
Under the permissions tag, it should have like a decorations thing,
Right.
and that should, if that's clicked, it should work.
I will check the next time I'm back in the neighborhood.
You got all your arrows?
I'm missing one right here, but I'm picking it up now.
Oh yeah.
You're a fatal beast above us.
There sure is.
Bring it back to Legolas. Run!
Legolas! Oh, it's nice that Gimli's going, Baruch Kazan! I bet it did. That's the whole point. That tree's there to protect my yard.
The quivers at my feet.
Thank you, my friend. Set the quivers at my feet, and I will use them as the need arises. You place the quiver with the arrows at Legolas' feet, and he nods with satisfaction. But his eyes never leave the distant line of battle. I heard Aragorn shouting his commands from the top of the Slag Hill to the southwest. Climb the hill and see what you can do to aid him.
That's fair.
Yeah, right?
Fair.
Set up in my yard.
Aragorn.
Back up on the hill. Gondorian Citadel, da.
We have held the line of battle.
We've held the line of battle for now, keeping our foes from ascending the eastern hill, but it seems that our foes have redoubled their efforts to take the western hill. We are hard-pressed and can spare no man, but someone must go to the western hill and keep it from being taken. Can you go to the aid of Imra Hill with haste enough? I know you can. Fight your way to the slope of the western hill and help the Prince of Dol Amroth throw back the tide.
How hasty is a 2-week break, Aragorn?
Right.
We can go a little long.
Well, that's good, because we are.
Fighting our way through. Got a bunch of orcs following me.
So I'm damaging and beating him up. Oh, I got the one guy turning around on me.
I'm gonna drop a burning ring of fire.
Bring down. Burning ring of fire.
Prince Immerhill.
Almost there, almost there. Huh.
That's fair.
The fighting here goes poorly, but with you here, my spirits are lifted. Do not worry about me. We are hard pressed by our foes, but even so, they are unable to match us. I have the high ground for now, and it gives me the advantage. The flow of battle pushed Eomer and of Rohan further down the slope, and I fear he will be cut off from the rest of his forces. Find him to the east and make sure that he is safe.
I was afraid you were gonna be like, and now we're gonna stop. It was like, no, King
No,
Eomer,
Eomer.
Eomer
No.
King. That's my king.
Well, you go ahead.
I welcome the return or the concern of the Prince of Dol Amroth, but it is unnecessary. My own battle is well in hand. But I have another worry. The terrible flying creatures that carry the robed Nazgul on their backs. They fall upon my soldiers and bear them aloft with their clutching claws, and then they drop them to the battlefield below. There is no protection from this. The safety of my men is my prime concern, for many soldiers of Rohan are unhorsed, and such is not their preferred means of doing battle. Over the din of battle, I thought I heard Rohirric voices crying out in alarm to the southwest. That is where you are needed, not here with me. As you command, my liege.
What's your king say? I'll follow you.
No! Get away from him.
I'm killing all of you. Don't you dare touch Reeve Ingberg.
And he vanished in front of me. I don't know where he went, but I found some of our friends.
Is this the end? No, Reeve. Will not be.
He's like one of the last surviving reefs.
Talk to Pippin. Yeah, ringing. I should have moved. I think it was.
He did.
I
think- Yeah, I think it counted for me, and then it needed 2 more enemies to spawn for him to run again.
Okay, guys. I'm glad to see you're still kicking. I'm afraid I can't do very much among all these warriors, but I aim to do the best I can for Frodo and poor Sam. I miss Merry, but at least he's back in Minas Tirith and won't need to see this fighting. Not for today, at least. I don't expect I can draw the level with some of his deeds, not unless I were to smite that horrible messenger. That is all right. Be careful. This beastly brood out blood.
Yeah.
Belgrade. The tide of enemies has swelled, and soon it will crash upon the shore of the shield wall. The tide will not draw back again until we are slain. I have taken it upon myself to watch Peregrine the Halfling. He is a soldier of Gondor, and now more a member of the Guard than I. But it grieves my heart to think that he might fall in this battle. I will protect him if I can, both for his sake and that of my son, whose friendship he possesses. Stay wary. I wager our foes have not depleted the stock of their sorceries.
I think you're probably right.
Gotta go with the western flag. Where is he?
Valinir.
He's not in a good place.
It doesn't seem like
Help!
it.
Can you help me? I've slain a number of orcs, but the last one staggered away with my sword, still stuck in its gut. And now I have no weapon. Can you find me a sword? There must be a blade somewhere at the base of the hill, abandoned or dropped by a coward or by a corpse. But without a weapon, I cannot do any good for Gondor. And I have no way to protect myself from the throng.
At least he wasn't just like panicking for no reason.
More foes surge around the base.
He wants to keep fighting. He wants to help.
Yes. Pick up the fallen sword. I can clear the slopes. Oh no!
Yeah.
I didn't need a sword anymore.
I can't spend any time on that. I hear my king.
Hey man, king!
We are being overwhelmed. I sustained an injury from an orc's lucky swing, and now my arm hangs loosely. I cannot lift up my shield. My men have fallen back a short distance, but they cannot stand long against the tide. They will soon need to retreat once more. I ask that you fight across to the eastern Slag Hill once again. If the battle is turning against us here, it must also be going ill with Aragorn. Look for his friends, the elf and the dwarf. I saw them from afar, but could not tell how they fared. They will need you as the battle goes on. You have no idea how hard it is for me to walk away from you right now.
Right.
You better believe I'm gonna kill this Olog that's trying to come up the hill. Fine, I'll go back. He can't even raise his shield. You men of Gondor, help us.
Get back up there.
The men of Rohan are failing. Not because they're not good enough. They're failing because they're dying. I found Legolas.
Oh, there, not too far behind you. No, look like you're busy, but talk to me real quick. All those quivers you brought me are spent. There is a knife work to be done around the hill, and plenty of it. Plenty for all. I have this fight in hand, for I'm certain there will be enough foes for you to slay if you go looking for them, or wait for them to seek you out.
My problem is this guy right here that's just standing here and not turning around to help Legolas.
Right. Guards killing these guys.
Yeah, it counts. I'll take it. Kallingblad.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad you returned.
I'm glad the flow of battle has brought you to me. I wanted to speak with you again. You study the ranger's face and see little of the doubt that troubled him at the camp of the host. He seems curiously calm for one who stands amid such tumult. After battle was joined, I stood with Aragorn and felled orc after orc. Soon I lost count of the bodies, but there were ever more to replace them. With each swing of my blade, my sword lost its individuality. It was no longer my weapon only, but it was a weapon for every Dunedain that ever took up a sword for his king. With every swing, it seemed to me I was conducting a great music. The tides of battle moved through and around me in great swelling chorus. It was a drowning tide, and it swept the foes of men beneath it, cleansing the land of their foul mark. I saw a great beauty of the land returning in full measure, the deep forests growing anew and the rivers flowing swift and clean. I saw twilight pooling in the hills, and the stars reflected in mountain lakes, crisp and cool. My eyes were open to this vision of a new age. I thought I saw it only for the span of a breath. I knew in that moment that Gwyneth had been right. Such a kingdom would be worth some measure of sorrow. She will see it, though she fade into myth, and men question whether she ever existed at all. But still she will be there, among the falls and waters of Lake Nuniel, and she will remember. I am at peace here, my friend. Evil Sauron cannot last, even if every last one of us perish before its gates. Let us hope we do not. New age is coming. Aragorn! You got people pumped over here, man.
Yeah.
How goes the fighting on the Western Hill? I trust that Éomer Imrahil stands still against the forces of Mordor. You tell Aragorn that they are still defiant, but injuries have begun to mount among the soldiers. So it is with us, but we fight on. It will not be long now, but we will stand until the end.
Ah!
Full again.
Yeah. Let's use that.
We must be ready.
The enemy lines are drawn back slightly, but it's only in preparation for their final push. Soon they will march inward once more, tightening the noose around our position. We must be ready. Tell me when you are prepared, and we will stand together to rebuke them.
So that'll be another instance.
Yes. So we're kind of in a bind here, but yeah, I think it's a good place to.
Yeah.
We'll go in there next week. I need to
Week after next.
week after next because we're not doing anything next week.
Right.
I got way too much crap.
Could do a stream next week where you just go through your whole inventory. And
I get rid of stuff.
no, I'm pumped. We're at such a cool spot. The gate's open. Enemies are everywhere. People are dying. Hopefully
Yeah.
not Revimbert. Hopefully he's still
You
alive.
managed to get over there in time.
He ran away. I'm stoked. This is
I had a menu pulled up when you moved, and I thought Aragorn was right off. Like what? What are we
what did we miss?
coming where?
All right. Well, no stream tomorrow. No stream Friday. No stream Monday. But next Tuesday, next Friday, and then next Monday. So look forward to all of that. You got there's still some remasters coming up on Runger's channel. Don't forget to
Yes,
go check
yeah.
those out. They're really cool.
Thank you.
And, just the usual Magnus videos will go up. And eventually there'll be a Monster Hunter Wilds review.
Yeah.
Eventually.
When I get through playing it, I gotta keep playing it right now.
Yeah, there's a few more things I need to do.
Yeah.
But until next time then, thanks everybody for hanging out. We got an incredible amount of story stuff done.
Yes.
I feel like we're like right at the end of this story.
Yes.
So until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rungren.
This has been the Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that LOTRO has to offer.
Good night.